Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. This week, I'm sharing one practical way that I've developed trust in myself when it comes to my art. The reference photo, a tried and true tool that sometimes gets a bad rap for lacking imagination, but I think that is simply not true. I'll share my very unmysterious way in just a moment, but first a word on trust. Self-trust, actually. Developing our creative self-trust is a lot like trusting our intuition. Most of the time when we talk about intuition though, it's in the context of what to avoid, like a dark alley. But we can lean into our intuition for positive outcomes too by just trusting our creative decisions. As creatives, we deal with so many doubts. It's hard to sift through them all to find the right decision for our next creative project or our color selections or even what to draw next. We ask a lot from our creative decisions, and usually we have them loaded up with external hopes and expectations such as, will it gain likes? Will it build my portfolio with my very unique style others will love? Will it sell? This outward focus isn't in line with self-trust, which is an inner experience. In order to develop it, we have to honor our choices because they feel right in our body, because they make our heart happy. The more fulfilled we feel about our art, from the very first idea of it, the greater the chances that art has to make anyone else happy too. Sometimes an idea for a painting just floats in super easily, and you wake up with a smile on your face and a feeling in your heart like you can't wait to paint and get your awesome idea up and out of you. This is really the best feeling. There's nothing quite like it. Honestly, I wish this for all of us every day, forever. But what is truer for us is yearning, right? Yearning to make something beautiful or fun or cute. And then we go through an artwork, and oftentimes we're just dealing with an aftermath of disappointment or a disheartening creative session. We wished it could have been better. I've asked myself for years, why does it always seem to feel like there's something wrong? Even when I've been the recipient of some magical download from the art gods and painted myself happy for a time, I really couldn't sustain it because that same art didn't perform in the world like I expected and wanted it to, which was disappointing. My self-trust wasn't solid enough. I grew wary and distrustful of inspiration. Inspiration is ignored and doubted and squandered by artists every single day. Not because the ideas aren't really amazing, but because I think we just don't trust ourselves enough. The simple practice, though, of responding to something we like a reference photo that's really easy to obtain, has really taught me a lot about this self-trust process. Here's how I do it. I only do this once or twice a week because it's during my rest time. So important, by the way, to take a little time for yourself to put your feet up and just be, even if it's for just 10 minutes. I wait until the day is winding down when I'm tired, so I lay down for a little bit, and once I feel my body sink in and my breathing slow down, I use my phone to scroll through Pinterest or Pexels or Unsplash. Again, I only do this once or twice a week. And because I'm tired, it's easy to notice how my body responds positively to a photo. If something speaks to me, I feel a pull of excitement despite my tiredness. My heart will flutter, and this is how I've learned to read my intuition positively, but developing the self-trust muscle requires more follow-through. So I star the photo, or I take a screenshot, or I save the web address for it in my notes. I usually just pass over most of the photos that I'm looking at in a sort of hypnotic, tired trance, and it's really only the 1 to 5 of them that make the cut. Then I decide definitively on one in the morning when I'm ready to paint. I don't scroll in the morning because my mind is really active and it weighs in, and it can be really hard for me to be decisive. Because I am creative, I have found that I can get excited about a lot of photos, and it's been easy to spend over an hour scrolling, which actually drains my energy for creating. I only pick from the 1 to 5 photos, and usually for that day, one stands out as my favorite to begin on something. Using a reference photo doesn't have to be a boring prospect. We're at liberty to change the details, to enlarge or minimize aspects of a photo. I liked the overall look of this photo, but I swapped out the lamp and the typewriter for the first lamp and typewriter that spoke to me on Pinterest. So once I decided on the reference photo, all I had to do was do a search on Pinterest, for example, like funky 1970s lamps, which I love anything from that era. And then I also selected the first typewriter that also had an easier form. I could just focus on the general shape of it and put in some key details. I didn't use the exact number of keys, for example, and just kept it really basic. So again, you don't have to paint exactly what is in a reference photo, but what's nice about many of the photos on Pexels and Unsplash is they have a pleasing composition already, which can serve as a jumping off point for you to personalize your art. There are many really good photographers on these websites with an eye for composing a shot, and I have found that they have helped me strengthen my own eye for good composition and also my photography. The words in this photo spoke to me, and even though I didn't use them, it made me want there to be words on a paper in the typewriter. Because I trust this process of listening to how my body responds, I'm able to trust my imagination more when it guides me to change details. This simple reference photo opened a door of possibility wider because it inspired this sketchbook art and also an idea for a larger painting, which I'm going to be sharing with you soon. Here's the initial sketch that I've worked out on my iPad for this painting idea. As you can see, the duck made its way into the main composition, and I love the playfulness of it. And already more ideas are flowing, which reinforces that self-trust. Does all this mean that you're going to love my art, that it will receive more likes, or that it will sell if I offered it as a print? I don't know that. But what I do know is that I feel good painting an idea that felt right to me from the very beginning. And I'm slowly filling a sketchbook with ideas that really all speak to me and have that potential to be more. This process feels fulfilling because I'm following my own creative intuition, and that's a power that comes from the inside and not externally, and that feels right. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that it's helped you in some way or helps you with your creative process. Have a great week and happy creating.